Hello! How's it going? Foxman here. We're doing some more Spelunky. As you can see, or maybe hear, a very distinct and awesome music. I'm just gonna hit play, and first round I'm gonna win. Simple as that. Let's go with the Cyclops here. I like him. He's fun. Lovable guy. Lovable guy. Lovable guy. Ow, I got something in my eye. One of my eyes. I have two eyes. Or do I have three? Think about it. How's it going though? What's going on? I wanna hear about you guys. What do you got? Poor snake. I wanna hear what's going on in your life right now. You know, or just in your day. Uh-oh. Sorry, I had to itch my fingers. You know, eat something awesome. Did you have a nice drink you never had before? Oopsies, I didn't mean to do that. An itchy nose. Good golly. Hair in my mouth. There's just like everything's going wrong, and my nose is itching again. What in the heck? Okay, let's go. Yeah, do you have anything cool happen today? I don't know. I want to know about it. I want to know. I ought to know. No, I not ought to know. You don't have to tell me anything. You know? But if you want to, you could. Okay. Let me see here. What did I do? What did I do today? Today I had a what it's called I'm telling you what I ate for lunch today. It's brunch, basically. It's a place by my work. Really nice. They do like kind of, I won't call it all day breakfast because it's like from morning until like 3 in the afternoon. But they also do lunch stuff as well. Pretty good. It's really quick, consistent. It's like everything's good about it. Reasonable. I mean, it's not the cheapest breakfast place, but that's just because like the area where I work in Toronto is just like, you know, for whatever reason they charge more for rent than I think they should. So a lot of companies like to like be able to pay the rent, you know, they have to charge a bit more on their for food and stuff. Let's go for it. We got a few extra bombs. We got that bomb bag. You know, I like to get a nice kind of early lead on the Kapala. You know, 2 bombs. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. We're still ahead by 1, and I've got that guy. So yeah, I might go aggro, but I might not. What are you selling? It's got bombs. No, you know what? I want to have just like a nice casual run. I don't want to be too aggravated. Not that this game makes me aggravated, but sometimes you're like, yeah. Although I think, you know, one of these runs soon, once we're kind of like doing really well, like, then we're going to try and do some of this like higher, just getting more gold and stuff. We might try a few dailies. Like I was saying in the last episode, I don't like doing that regularly though, just because it takes so long, you know. But anyways, so I go to this place and they've got you know, they've got these different like skillets and scrambles, and I get there's the key. This is a banger of a song. It's gonna be tricky to get over there. I'm glad I bought those extra few bombs though. Let me think about this. Not much to think about. I'll rope up, get that crate. I should actually bring Monty over here. Just gonna get this because it's like right there. Okay. Don't have sticky stuff. So how am I gonna do this? It's what we call skill, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week. It's actually kind of difficult because, you know, I've never been good at... I just went to throw it. It's okay. It's okay. I could have, you know, if I killed the shopkeeper, it would have been a lot easier, but that also would have been a little tricky. That's okay. That's okay. That's the warm-up. But I had good intentions. Anyways, so the skillet. They do, you know, it's like on a bed of home fries. Good stuff. And then they've got some chopped up and lightly grilled green pepper, mushroom, which I'll usually ask for no mushroom just because, like, the thing is they give you a lot of mushroom. If it was just like a little, then I'd be like, no big deal. But they give you a good amount. And I'm not super crazy about mushrooms. I'll eat them if they're there, kind of thing, and they're barely there. But if it's easy for me to say no mushrooms, then I usually just do that. I've just never been a huge fan of them. But it's also got onion and chopped up bacon, and then and cheddar cheese. Where am I going? And then you get whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever kind of egg you want on top of it. Or eggs. They give you like 3 eggs. Sometimes I'll do sunny side up because it's nice to just, you know, break into that yolk, and then it kind of flows down and it mingles with all the potatoes and onions and bacon, all that good stuff. But then other times I'm just like, you know what? I feel like getting a good scramble. They do a good scramble on their eggs. I know a lot of people are like, oh, scrambled eggs, what are you, a baby? But I like all types of eggs, so you can't call me a baby. I'll eat them any way I can get them. But when it comes to a scramble, sometimes, or a skillet, you know, with all these other things going on, scramble works really well. I like it. And then you get some toast on the side. And I like to put a little bit of my Frank's Red Hot in there as well. You know, it's good. It's good filling meal. I like it a lot, and I'm really hungry just thinking about it. What am I doing? We're gonna go for another normal-ish run. I'm gonna try not get hit. But wait, before we go down, let's just confirm the chest is, yeah, okay. That's a common spot for it. Since I've only got 3 bombs, sorry, Monty. We'll get you next time. All right. At least that time we didn't get screwed over with the placement of the key, and lacking sticky stuff. So we're able to get it. Oh no. Oh no. Well. There. That's better. Oh! I forgot that they drop. This is not good. I'm making a lot of amateur mistakes right now. Frig. I told myself I wouldn't do it. But I got to. I must seek revenge on all of these. Yeah, let's get that crate. It could be a jetpack for all I know. It's bombs. Still worth it. Should probably get Monty. I took a few hits. Alright. But yeah, it's just hard to beat a good breakfast. Shoot. He'll be fine. I think he's dead. He's not dead. It's hard to beat a good breakfast, especially for lunch. I don't know. And the place is cool, you know. It's not huge. It's busy, but it's not like too busy where you can never get a table. Sometimes it's closed, but then you get a table or there's somebody that's finishing up, so you're maybe gonna wait like 2 minutes, 3 minutes at most, which is nice. It's pleasant having a Good breakfast. I don't know where I'm going. I don't need the Ujjayi, which is always nice. I hate it when I don't have it yet. And I'm like, oh, this is a dark level. Great. But no, we got it. Oh. Ah. I didn't want that to happen. Bummer. I gotta check up here because there could be a key or something. No, there's no key. Well, we're not off to a good start, but you know what they say. Yep. They don't say anything. They don't say anything. This is bad, man. I came in here, I was feeling all good. It's like we're gonna rock this world, you know? I'm not gonna be too aggro on the shopkeepers or anything. It's falling to pieces and we're just getting started. It's okay. The best runs, they're never perfect. Never get a perfect run. Anyways. That arrow's gonna get him, right? So we won't do that. You know what I was thinking about today? I was just thinking about trees. I like trees. Thinking about them a lot. And I was just thinking, it's like, I wonder if anybody out there is just like, I hate trees. I just don't like them, right? Is that something that people say? Have ever said? I mean, I'm sure there's been like, I always see some people that have like run into a tree or like skied into them. I mean, trees could kill you. You drive into a tree, etc., etc. But that's not the tree's fault. I mean, the tree was there before you. You know, stay on the road. But other than that, I mean, you know, I know a lot of things in this world are subjective, but is anybody like, I just don't like trees? I don't know. I'm asking you guys because I don't know. I love them. It's like, anybody out there, do you legitimately? Hey, oh, you fell into my trap, you idiot. I'm kind of trapped. It's okay. Fell into it again. Amateur hour. No, no. Yes! I didn't take a lick of damage. That's right. I'm back. He's done it. Oh, no. Okay, that was pretty bad. I'll admit. How much money do I have? Nah, we don't need to kiss Monty. We'll save our money for a rainy day. We're just gonna get out of here. But yeah. Trees are... Okay, here's the case for trees. 1. They get a little oxygen out there for us. 2, they suck up some of that CO2. 3, they provide shade. 4, they provide, like, aesthetics. I mean, that's cool. 4, are we on 5 or 6? They provide home for, like, countless species of animals. 7, right? We're on 7. I didn't really mean to do that, but now I gotta use a rope. Come on, big boy. Let's fuck. Yeah. 7. Am I on 7? They like help prevent erosion. They allowed us to build a lot of stuff. You know, wood is a very versatile material. What else? I mean, there's like a lot of things. These are like high level things, but like trees, pretty good, right? I think so. You can make a swing, and you know, they support stuff. You can build a tree house. You can... This is kind of risky, but it's worth it. because I only have 2 bombs left now. Come on. Come at me. Oh, but we're gonna get a cape. We're gonna get a cape. No! This is not going well, man. Are you coming up here, dude? Oh. We'll go down there. When we're ready. I could really go for Monty. We'll see. Get away. Get away from me. Oh, thank you. Okay. So now, let's try to get Monty. There's no piranhas in there, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, we've got 2 bombs left. I have sticky stuff. I'm actually going to go from underneath, I think, first. Yeah, I'm just going to draw Monty there. Get my shotty. Because I'm not sure if it's to the far left or it's, like, down below a little bit, so... Oh! I didn't even see him there! Oh, okay. This is the one. Give me a sip of my drink. That was horse manure right there. I mean, it's my fault. Again, I'm playing pretty poorly. But no. No. I just really like trees. They're also they live for a long time, which is really cool. You just think about it, some of these trees are thousands of years old, and just imagine they've been on this earth while like all of, you know, modern human civilization has been doing its thing. Isn't that just like a wild thought? Like, you can do a cross section, you see that you count the rings of a tree, right? And you could be like, you know, this year was like, you know, 870. That's the year that, you know, King Emperor Malf, you know, was really cool and conquered all the world or something, you know? And you can go back in time and you count the rings. It's just, I think that's really neat. And depending on the location, you could be like, well, this is where King Arthur did his thing, and this oak is like 1,000 years old or whatever. So like he probably got really drunk this one time and peed on this oak. You know? It's just interesting. Trees are cool, man. I wish like deforestation wasn't really a thing, but we'll get there one of these days. I like to think we're slowly making progress on this stuff. Problem is like, are we gonna make progress before it's too late? You know, in regards to just pollution and stuff in general, and all that. Yoink. There's a shop there. Let's just see. Let's just see. There's a lot of bombs. Can I buy one? Oh. Well, I will be able to. Watch this. There's gonna be something right here. Ah! I need 100 more. Oh, there's a pot right here. Watch this. Yeah. Again, I don't want to aggro him. Not yet. I want to get a win streak. Okay, so we're going to win this one, and then the first one of the next episode. Simple enough. Simple enough. Means we got to do good plays. Look at that. That was like MLG level. That's already gone off. We need the Jedi, which... Ooh, I want Monty. I jumped up because I was like, that chest is gonna go, but I should have stayed low. It's okay. We're fine. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna get the spring shoes. Doesn't matter. Okay. Do I want the Matic? Nah, I'm gonna go shotgun soon. Okay. What is happening, dude? Alright. We gotta find the key. Okay, there it is. Just kill me now. Just kill me. How do I even, Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to focus, but I keep dying, man. Then we go around this way. Don't get hit by that arrow trap. Beautiful. You come at me. Trees. It's pretty wild. You know, it's something, you almost got me. Something that I need to find like a good book on this, but one thing I want to learn about, you know what, I am gonna just do this because it's kind of silly not to. I don't have a shotgun yet, so it's like, how exactly did the Earth form? Like, what was the overall process? Because I was thinking, you know, in the future when computers are like much more powerful, you know, everybody's got a quantum computer in their pocket kind of thing. But I was thinking it'd be really cool for sort of like a video game to start out. Don't steal my idea. But like, basically, you know, this planet would be formed and all the systems on our planet would be kind of simulated, but you know, it's kind of like real-time simulation too. So stick with me. So basically, like, how did the Earth form? There's a bunch of like asteroids and particles and dust and all that stuff slowly, you know, colliding and forming and compacting into the planet. And then like and then what happened? I can't remember. Then like eventually somehow an atmosphere formed. And then, oh, that's nice. And then yeah, sure, let's do it. I never do this. And then, you know, water settled, cooled down, water was there. I know, but basically there's all these steps. Like, okay, I wish this would spin faster. But I think it would be really cool if, you know, we had, oh, 2-spin? Nice! Oh wait, that's not the prize, that's the money. Oh yeah, I want the prize. But basically, if you could just like, that was close. Am I dead now? So you'd hit play, you'd hit start, and you would kind of see this little simulation of a planet being formed, and it would be different every time. And then based on, you know, how certain stuff was formed. Oh yes. Like, you'd have different terrain, you'd have different mountains, like everything would be different. And because you'd have different mountains and different amounts of water, or like sizes of you know, oceans and all this stuff, you know, that would determine all these other things. Of course, you know, it'd be kind of funky because sometimes you might end up with a planet that, like, I guess maybe couldn't sustain life somehow. But, you know, maybe if you hard-coded a couple, like, certain things. So, like, the simulation couldn't just go completely wrong. Like, it, you know what I'm saying? But I think that'd be pretty neat. And then, from there, You know, you've got Minecraft 2.0 basically. Or you could, again, hard code a couple more things into it, maybe. But basically, or, you know, it'd be cool too if you could just, like, I don't know, it'd be like Spore / Minecraft. It'd basically be like every game in one. The be-all, end-all of games. But, like, I don't know, I've always been interested in, like, a video game that accurately, kind of models weather systems, like all those systems, right? Like, you know, the wind and the water cycle, and just like, oh, that guy's gonna have a bad time. Just how everything works, so that if you do change something on a large scale, not even necessarily large scale, you'll see the effect. I should really get Monty here. This frog is gonna cause me problems. But yeah, if you change something, you'll see it. So, like, for instance, let me give you an example, right? You know, we were talking about earlier, trees prevent like landslides, right? Like in a forest, you know, you've got all these trees and shrubs and everything, right? So, and all their roots are keeping the earth nice and steady. But if you've got just a barren area, it's a lot easier for landslides and just general erosion and stuff to occur, right? So say you're in the game, and then you burn a forest down. Although that would probably still leave some of their trunks and stuff like that. But let's just say, you know, does a good job, removes most of the trees. Or you go and you chop them all down, for all I know. Like, maybe you're just so ruthless. Chop them all down, and you get your ox, and you get them to rip the trunks out of the earth. So it's barren. And then it starts to rain. And then the rain, you know, it's slowly kind of, and it's on a steep slope too. It's like a mountainside forest. Starts washing all that stuff down. And then you got, you know, all this sediment just washing away. And then there's a village downhill from there. And they're all like, oh no, what's happening? Yeah, we want to get Monty on here because I really need the Kabbalah. And then, because, you know, when I program, it's the best programming of all time, the AI is smart enough, right? So there'd be like, the villagers would be like, hey man, wow, this sucks, we gotta do something about this. So they might, like, dynamically create a quest. And they'll say, like, you gotta do something. You gotta go out there and plant a million trees, or like build some kind of retaining wall. I don't even know. It's not necessarily the best example, but you get what I'm saying. Just like, you know, stuff like that. Or more things like, for instance, you know how, don't take them to the exit. I just need to remind myself. What level are we on? Okay. For instance, there's certain areas, right? There'll be like a large population of, say, deer, right? And maybe a bunch of the deer, they're eating all like the crops or something of a farmer. So he doesn't like that. So, oh, I see it right there. I don't have sticky stuff. Ah, who needs it? Where's Monty? Oh, he's surrounded by that frog. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, they're like, oh, the deer are eating all these, you know, crops, blah, blah, blah. So you've got a couple solutions. One, you just go on a freaking massacre, kill a bunch of the deer. Or you introduce some wolves, and they'll keep them in check. And then, you know, you come back in a few years and you see the deer population will just be like way down. I don't know what I'm doing. And then maybe later that's like an issue too. Like, oh, there's so many wolves, and then you kill them. But just like, I would love, and you know, you call me crazy all you want, but I guarantee you someday that kind of stuff will be present in video games. But again, it's so reliant on just like simulation and understanding kind of how these systems work in the real world, right? Which we don't always accurately know. So it's hard to simulate something if we don't really understand it completely in the real world. But definitely that kind of stuff you'll be able to do in video games. And I've, since I was maybe like, I'd say 14 or 15, I've always been thinking of, you know, what's my ideal kind of video game? And that's always been the one thing I've wanted most. Like, and how old am I now? I'm 29 and a half, almost. So I've kind of had that idea in my head. And it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm smart, I had this idea. I'm sure like a million people had that idea. But like, I joke about it, but, you know, part of that idea too has always been like, and in that world you can mine materials, you know, you can go out and collect and rock and ores and stuff like that, and then refine them into metals and blah blah blah. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm gonna buy this and kill everyone. So, you know, again, that whole like Minecraft element, but basically to me it's just like a real world simulation. But obviously, you know, it wouldn't look like Minecraft or anything. It would be more realistic. But that's always been kind of like my ideal sort of game. So I'm pretty excited. I got an itchy nose again. I'm pretty excited when someday that will exist. It might even be one of those things where it's like you've got to, you know, there's like some master voice crack, some master server or whatever where a lot of that simulation goes on there. You know, and maybe it's not like everybody has their own planet that was just dynamically created. But, you know, maybe everybody's on the same planet, but it's still like cool. And it's got simulation, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for that kind of game. I don't even need it to be multiplayer, because I almost feel like, you know, the internet, LOL, that it would probably get ruined by people. Possibly. Well, it depends. I mean, depends on how realistic you make it. Maybe you just say like, if you said, oh, you only get one life, then people would be like really mad because there'd be, what do they call them? Griefers. Well, you know, I don't know. So like I've been like constantly like throughout the years, I'll kind of like open up an old document that I've kind of scribbled down on. They're all like updated versions of the, like I had this just like scrap piece of paper. I remember I think I was 15 when I started writing it. I was like, this is all the high level stuff you could do in the game. And then I started getting more and more specific with just like how everything would run. And I even started, I remember I started, like, for this, I was defining, and this is what reminded me of the game, because in the last episode I was saying, like, if you had, like, your chance at creating a universe, or a new world, a government, like, what would be your rules and laws? But I started, for this game, I was like, I'll make my own government, and, like, you know, society will be different. I don't want it to be just, like, you know, what Earth was like back in, you know, the medieval ages and all that kind of stuff. You know, I've always liked the idea more of having games with like swords and shields and stuff like that, more so than the super kind of futuristic and all that. But yeah, it's like, you know, it'd be cool to kind of do something a little bit different. So I was even writing down, like, well, the government would work like this, and, like, you know, this is how the taxation system would work, or the education, and just, like, all of that stuff, right? But, like, kind of trying to look at it from a different perspective. And back when I first started doing that, too, it's pretty cool, because, you know, I was much younger, and obviously I had a lesser understanding of how the real world works and how the government works and blah, blah, blah. So it's, like, pretty interesting to see my perspective on that stuff back then. But, yeah. So, that's what I'm waiting for, that game. Like I said, if you wanna make it, that's cool. I'll take 10% of total revenue, and definitely my name in the credits. Okay, this guy's gotta die. But no, but that's a question for you too. If you were to, he fell. Good. I mean, is that something that other people are kind of interested in, that type of game? Kind of more sort of realistic. Still kind of, though, fiction, though, in a way, because it's, you know. Or do you have, like, a completely different ideal game? Like, and this question, like, there's no limitations, right? Say it's like, it'll take 20 years before we have that technology, but we'll have that technology eventually. So what is your perfect ideal game with no limitations? Because for me, I mean, there could be your ideal game could already exist. Maybe it existed 10 years ago. I have a lot of games that I really like that aren't so much reliant on technology. You know, depending if they're story driven or what have you. This one just happens to be like, well, requires like technology that we don't currently have. To make it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let's just get this show on the road. He's already dead. All right, I'm gonna get Monty. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to hear what you got. Because, you know, the whole question yesterday was like, what's the, like in a real life situation, I guess, what would your rules and laws and societal changes be for a Mars world? A lot of people are like, well, you know, it would just eventually become Earth 2.0, right? Like, we're just creatures of habit or whatever. Or like, there's no way we could ever find one peaceful way to live together. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's fair. But this is a video game. So now we could at least, like, hard code stuff, right? To an extent, though. I mean, what? Oh, okay. Minapalooza going on down there. Holy shnikes. Okay, remember, I've already done the deed, so let's be careful. Let's be careful. I'm not doing mother shit. No, I wanna win again. I need to win again. Give me the blood. Oh, I didn't get that blood. Ah. Okay. Take a little gold. Not super useful. But yeah, I don't know. I just think, man, that'd be a bad game for me to have, though, because I would just play it forever. He's gonna get hit by these arrows if I... Two. Oh, he didn't get hit by the third one. Do we have sticky stuff? Oh, fuck. I'm dead. That's so stupid. I saw that arrow trap earlier, Like when we first got there, it's like, well, okay, let's avoid that. And then, you know, kind of forgot about it. Let's just, let's see if we can do this one a little bit more quickly, you know? But I just think it'd be so cool. And like the other thing too, you know, I started, I remember I wrote like, you know, what kind of animals and vegetation would be in the world. And like this is one where like that wouldn't be, like, if you could do it right, like I don't know how you do it right. Like, I mean, Spore, like I like the idea, but when I saw the goofy creatures coming out of there, it's like, maybe it's better just to take like animals and plant species from like Earth and do that, and like also have similar, like, so each one would be assigned the attributes that plant or animal species like possesses currently, right? So by that I mean you would take, say it's a certain species of like a type of oak tree, right? Like a red oak, for example, right? So the attributes associated with it would be like, you know, the types, the soil types that it'll grow comfortably naturally in, right? Like, you know, the right acidity and or lack thereof, and you know, it needs to have a certain moisture levels, and you know, it'll grow in certain elevations, certain temperatures, you know, like all that kind of stuff that basically is gonna tell a real red oak on planet Earth, like it'll be like, yeah, this is comfortable, I'm gonna grow here, or no, I don't like this, I'm not gonna grow here, right? So all of those attributes would be associated with it, so that in the game, say you found a red oak, and you know, it was that time of the year where it's producing acorns, you could take it and you could try to plant it somewhere, and it might grow depending if you kind of tick off enough boxes, or it might not grow. You'd be like, well, this is a desert, you piece of shit. What are you doing? So you know, I thought that'd be really cool. And same thing for kind of animals and stuff, right? Like, you know, they want to live in certain areas because there's certain vegetation there. You know, animals and plant species are, you know, very reliant on each other a lot of times. So if in the game you removed one of those elements, it'd be like, well, now all the freaking rabbits are going to move out of here and they're going to go somewhere else because, you know, all the plants that they eat are gone, you know, because of that forest fire. So I just like right down to the nitty-gritty simulation. Not this Peter Molyneux, like, oh, every action has a consequence bullshit. That's what, I was naive, you know. Again, I was young when they were coming out with Fable 1, and I believed that everything you did would have a consequence. But understand, like, I mean, I understand that I couldn't expect a game like I've been talking about from Peter Molyneux, but it's just like, I thought it would be a little more involved. Anyways, yeah, I just think it'd be so cool. Like, truly, you could just do whatever you wanted in the game, and you know what? By the time we can simulate a whole planet like in a video game, on a, you know, consumer grade computer, or just like a service where it's like a server, blah blah blah, and it's doing all the simulation, and you're just playing it like on your computer. By then we'll probably have decent enough AI too, so that they can kind of like, again, you might assign them certain roles, like basically, like I even had a system where, like when I went to school and I was doing urban planning and urban design, right, I learned more about cities and just like design and stuff in general, and different, you know, You learn about early human settlements and like all this kind of stuff, right? So I even started listing kind of like a matrix for how the game could. Oh, that's a nice shop. How the game could dynamically. Let's buy it. Who cares? Dynamically, like based on the terrain that was generated, it would then like make, you know, like villages and stuff like that. So you'd have certain things like, you know, every village at bare minimum needs to have like this or this or this. They can only be located like in certain areas, you know, like they need to be like on some like a river or a lake or, you know, something like that. You know, need to be within like a certain distance of various resources, etc., stuff like that. And then you could go so far as, you know, kind of give them a kind of random population numbers and assign random what do you call them, jobs and stuff to people. And that doesn't mean that like that person's always gonna be a farmer or something like that, but that's just like when you first start, that's like how everything is, and then the world would evolve as you go. I'm getting really distracted talking about this. I'm not playing the game very well, but again, it'd just be so cool. But again, simulating like every creature, every person, like every freaking particle of rain. Like I can't understate. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have spike shoes. I can't understate how, like, yeah, we're gonna need the superest of computers to do that kind of stuff. But when it exists, can you just imagine? If I had sticky stuff, I might go down there and try and tango with this dude. Yeah. Like, oh man. I would have so much fun in that game. There'd be a schooling system and all that stuff. So like, if you wanted to, you could like start as a kid and go to school and have to do stuff. I mean, obviously there'd be some kind of sort of like skill system. Maybe it might not be like a very easily quantified, like your strength is 20 out of 100, right? It might just be like the more times you you know, chop wood with an axe, right? Like you're just gonna get stronger kind of thing. Like, so it might not ever tell you a number, but eventually there might be like visual feedback, like certain things that at one point you weren't able to do, you can now. Oh dude, rough stuff. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay. You jackasses! What did I do to you? Ah, now I got spike shoes. But yeah. So it wouldn't be like you'd be going and looking at numbers and all that kind of stuff. It would be a little more like real life, I guess. You know? I mean, you could quantify your real life. You could say, I can bench press 800 pounds. Because I personally, I can bench press 800 pounds. I'm just joking. But, so I guess you could do it that way. So, okay. I need a shotgun. I don't see one. Well, just gonna buy those then. And we're gonna have a good time. There we go. I guess it would have been okay to just at least pick up the boomerang, but... Oh, he's dead. Okay, we've got to be careful here. I don't know where the other one went. Oh, Monty's dead. I probably should have gone and, like, lit up all the torches first before they... before I decided to aggro them, but... Dude, line up. Oh, Batman. 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 That guy, he... Oh, buddy. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. This is why sometimes I like just waiting to aggro them on this level. Gives you a chance to kind of like get set up a little bit more. I don't really have items. It's a pretty good throw. The sign got in the way, but you know what? It achieved mostly what I wanted. I gotta sneeze. Yo, not cool. Okay, there we go. Boom shakalaka. That's better, that's better. Man, now, like, it's weird, because for sometimes years at a time, I'll forget about this video game idea. But now I'm gonna, like, start doodling out more stuff. Because I think you need to balance the simulation a little bit. And, like, I don't know what the tech dudes would, like, you'd make certain algorithms, or I don't know. But, like, rather than have the simulation, like, place each... I mean, there's certainly efficient ways of doing it, but just, like, again, I think it needs to be, yeah, procedural. So you'd form the planet somehow, and the terrain would happen, and you'd tell it, like, I don't know, the planet needs to be, like, within a pretty tight tolerance in terms of, like, the size. Or maybe you just say all the planets are always going to be exactly kind of this diameter, but the terrain, it's going to be different, or, you know, again, like I said, you kind of give it some conditions. And then from there, you know, I think it's still, the sun, the star, it would be the same as the sun. Like, it'd have to be the same distance around, I don't know, I didn't really need to do that, but, you know, let's have some fun. Oh my god, it's a whole family affair. And then from there, you'd say, well, okay, same distance from the sun. This is the tilt and all that. So based on that, we know that the temperature or the climate, you know, is going to be like this in this zone, this in this zone, and obviously you'd have a couple fluctuations depending on the, like, how the lakes are and stuff, because that's gonna, or the oceans, or ocean, maybe it's, you know, one giant ocean. Excuse me. Actually, I'm gonna get a sip of my drink. Hold on. And then, is that an altar? Can't remember. Have I used 2 altars or 3? No, I don't even have a Kabbalah. Okay. Well, that settles that. So yeah, then you slowly form the general climate. You run some more simulations, and then it's like, you know, then you plant some seeds, let some trees grow, you know, put the animals in certain spots and let them do, and just, you know, run the simulation for a few million more years and blah blah blah. I think you could do it. I mean, it would take a good amount of scientists and just a consultation and stuff, but I think that'd be wow, he's got legs for days. Not anymore. I've already got gloves, so let's just go. I'm gonna win this one, like I said. Oh, man. I just think about that. It'd be such a freaking fun. But that's my problem. I get all these ideas. A lot of times I just like forget about the ideas or I scrap them. But this is one of those ideas I've had for, like I said, half my life at this point. So, not like I'm ever gonna do anything with it. But I hope to see it happen someday. And then I'll be happy. Like I said, this is my ideal game, so. And then once I get it, download it, start playing it. I'm like, it's not as good as I thought it'd be. No, you couldn't stop me. Oh wait, was the Moai on this level? Oh boy. I guess not. Nope. Alright, next level. Man. That'd be awesome. Even just like, having the game where the AI, like even if it was like a pre-built world, right? Like a truly like pure RPG, right? Where you're playing a role and every other AI is playing a role. And it's not like, obviously, well, I guess you could randomize it too. So everybody, like the world that they're in, like all the NPCs are completely random and all that kind of stuff. Or you could say like everybody starts with the exact same world, and the beauty of it is just seeing how different they become over time just based on your actions. And that would be really cool too, even just having it like that. So you would and that goes back to kind of my examples of you would I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want money, so just die. Oh, my parachute. If you, farmer's like, oh man, all the wolves are killing my sheep. So then he's gonna give you a, make a quest. You could do it. You don't have to do it. Whatever, I don't know. And then you do it in a certain way, and then that obviously affects, it's the whole butterfly effect, right? I think. And then you just like over time, the longer you play, the more your world becomes completely different, because all the NPCs are reacting differently to your actions, because they're also reacting to the environment. You burn down a forest, it's gonna just like mess with everything. I need to get rid of this. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Can't wait for that to be made. Like I said, that's kind of like, Minecraft 2.0. That'll probably be like Minecraft 5.0 by the time we have that technology. But I'll play it. Wait, where's Monty? Is he up here? No. I don't hear him. He might be dead. Somebody might have got him. I think so. Oh well, I don't need... I'd like the health. It'll probably save my life, but... Get away. I've already seen you once tonight. I don't need to see you again. Alright, this time it's different. I don't have sticky stuff again, though. What? Yeah, I see that thwomp. Shopkeeper's got an extra shotgun. Oops, I had to throw it. This lack of sticky stuff is actually going to make things rather difficult. You don't like that. Did he leave, though? Because then I can get a shotgun. That's going to make my life much easier. At least for killing, what's his face? You can't beat me, bud. Where... Oh, yeah. Where is he? That bad dude. Darn it. Oh, fuck! Oh, I just wanted to drop another bomb. Why do I do this? I die way more than I should. I like... This game, like I say, tests your patience. You're better at it than you might think, or than the results you see. If you just like... You just stop and you say, man, that's not smart. It's not worth the risk. Oh, well. I mean, yeah. We'll get them next time. It happens. But I had fun talking about my ideal video game. I hope you kind of enjoyed it. Again, I know it's like crazy. It's going to be decades before we ever see that kind of stuff, probably. But hopefully I'll still be around. I hope so. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think of my ideas? Is it cool? What would you do? Or what would be your ideal game? Maybe it's something completely different. And then, like I said, maybe it already exists. But I'd like to know, because I think that's it's fun to know about that and whatnot. Anyways, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And as well, if you enjoyed the video, give one of the likes. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. But you know, tell me what I could have done better to, you know, maybe get a like. That's all I ask. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.